Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out student exposes race baiting youth pastor. I know a lot of you guys like myself, tired of the race baiting wars. It seems like it's endless. Now it's making ways into the churches. It seems like there's no stopping it. But let's check this video out. Let's go.
Hi Charlie, my name is Anderson. And so I used to attend a church, and recently we stopped attending it because they do preaching, sort of, which they talk about race in it. The main senior pastor, he said that there's too many white people attending our church. And my mother, she had a conversation with him, but he still kind of does the same things. But our youth pastor, he has also said the same things, talking about, oh, I met this great couple of a black man and a Hispanic mother, and their child was just so beautiful. And what I want to do is have a conversation with that youth pastor. I wanted to ask you, like, what things should I say to them to try to prove that point, that it's not right?
Yeah, look, I hate talking about race.
Wow.
I do. I'm exhausted talking about it. I think it's a distraction, and it's terrible. So let me give you a couple pieces of advice, but I'll tell you, I'm running out of patience talking about race. Your race means nothing to me, and it means nothing to God. Let me say that again. It means nothing to God whatsoever. Period. If you think it matters, then we have a word for that, and that word is used rather generously, but it's actually racism. It's racist to believe that race matters. Okay, let me give you two principles of Christianity that I think you should challenge on. These are the questions. Do you believe in things, what is more important, that which is visible or that which is invisible? Ask him that question. And then, not you, but ask the youth pastor. And he'll have to say invisible, he'll have to, or else he's not a Christian, okay? Now, that's not to say that you can't see God, you can't hear from God, but the things we can't sense immediately with our five senses are way more important than the things we can sense. It's the flesh versus the invisible war, okay? And then the second thing you say, okay, what do you take a higher preference on? Things you can change or things you cannot change?
Things you can change.
And if he was, of course, a Christian, he should say the things you can change.
Yep.
Or else we wouldn't believe in redemptive Christianity, right? We'd believe you become a Christian through blood right. And so those are the only two questions that you should ask. And if he says, okay, well, yeah, I believe in the invisible more than the visible, and I believe that things you can change versus things you can't change, you say, then how do you care about race so much? Because you're focusing on things that are visible and something that can't change, and therefore you're focusing on things that are unbiblical and against Christianity.
You're focusing on the total opposite.
So that's how I would answer that question.
Hey, the only caveat I put on it, I'm kind of happy these last couple of years where pastors tilted their hand down and you can kind of see what they really believe.
That is so true, though. Ever since with COVID, I think COVID exposed a lot of people and a lot of churches. It's exposed a lot of things. Maybe just me. You guys let me know in the comments. But COVID has exposed a lot of people true colors and what they're really about. You're seeing pastors getting exposed for frauds, and there's things that you wouldn't normally hear a pastor getting involved in. Like, like the pastor from New York City, I think it was in Brooklyn or the Bronx. I think it was Brooklyn, ripping off his whole congregation. He's coming to church in a Bentley. In a Bentley? You coming to church in a Bentley? Why do your people, your supporters on your church, coming to church in a Honda Civic or a Hyundai? And then you showing your big mansion. You showing all the Gucci clothes you got. Louis Vuittons. Why your church is looking like it's worth $30,000. It look like it's barely standing, but your house looks like it worth like about $5 to $7 million. I think COVID exposed a lot of things, and we've seen that happening a lot. And I think he got caught up in some other stuff where he's allegedly the sins of insurance fraud. How he said he got robbed in his church. They took his jewelry. How you coming to church wearing almost $400,000 worth of jewelry? Are you coming to show a fashion show, or are you coming to preach the gospel? Which one is it? That's why the youth is so lost in it, because even half of the pastors, they lost too. Well, let's continue watching.
Because now they're not hiding, and I just go, thank you, I'll remember that. And I tell people, leave a church. Let God direct you to a balanced, loving pastor who doesn't have all these crazy biases and
Yep.
can feed the sheep and equip them for the work of the ministry.
Let me add one thing too. When you leave that church, I think the exit conversation is very important. There's a mixed opinion about this. Some people say leave quietly. I think you should leave respectfully, but I think you need to confront. I'm a big believer in this.
I agree.
You need to have a big, long, drawn-out meeting and know your stuff and say, this is why we are leaving. Why? After the 5th or 6th time they have to confront a family that will do that, that makes a big difference. And in fact, 9 months, 18 months, 24 months later, they might all of a sudden remember one sentence that was said in that conversation that could change their life. Now, I travel to churches across the country, so does Victor, and I was just recently as a church, and they were never talking about these issues. But one family, in the midst of all the stuff that was happening in the summer. To give you an idea, they were recommending White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo and Ibermex Kendi, and one family who the pastor trusted says, I need to see you. I've known you for 35 years. You have no idea the demonic influences you bring into this church. One conversation, and the pastor talked to me and said, there's no way this could all be true. He never heard of Thomas Sowell before. He had never heard of any of this stuff. Wow. After one conversation, he said, I need to take a month to study this stuff. He had a complete 180 reversal. And he realized that critical race theory, wokeism, all this stuff was from the enemy, and that church is now growing, and they're courageous, and they're talking about these things. So I want to just encourage you to have those conversations. They're so incredibly important. So God bless you, man. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Charlie once again did it again. Charlie, like myself, and I'm sure a lot of others feel the same way. We are tired of this race baiting. I still can't believe something like this we're still debating in 2023. It's like, this should be behind us by now, but it's not. Sadly, unfortunately, it's not. And like I was saying, I saw the mayor of New York City. I don't know what transpired. I'm guessing it's the violence. He's talking about bringing prayers back into the school. He said ever since prayer left the school, things have, I forget his exact words, but he pretty much said that's why things are the way it is now, because it was never that bad. Once they took prayer out of the school, things have gotten so bad. It's like the blind leading the blind. Everybody's just reckless. Nobody cares. There's no love. It's just hate. It's just all about me. Self-centered people. And I'm not sure how you're going to be able to do that, but because I don't know if we went too far now. Well, I hope you get through with it, because we do need prayers back in the school. I don't know who brilliant idea was that to take prayers out of the school. I don't know. I know how it started, but I don't want to get into that type of subject. I heard that's how it started, but I'm not sure exactly how it really started. But I don't want to get into that. You know how YouTube gets. But but yes, we need that, man. And church is supposed to be loving to everybody. The door's supposed to be open for everybody. Doesn't matter your race, color, gender, it's everybody. You love and treat everybody equally. Some people you can save, and some you just can't. And those ones you can't, as long as you know you try your best, that's all you can do is try your best. But that's wrong. You can't have a church where you discriminate against who should be in the church and who's not. It's just like I seen, where was it? In I don't know if it was England, somewhere in those foreign country that now they got non-binary pastors and bishops. That's right, I just said it. Non-binary bishops and pastors. You guys tell me what's wrong with that picture. That goes against everything the Bible talks about. We all know the story about Sodom and Gomorrah, what that was about. We're just going to ignore that. We're just going to take that page out and ignore all of that. That's why the kids don't look up to the elders the way they should, because the elders act like they're kids themselves. I think social media has a big role to play because everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to brag. Everyone wants to show what they got. It's not what it used to. And it's sad that the elders don't know to hold their place. I totally don't. I don't know if we are lost. I don't know if we are lost beyond finding our way back. But it's sad that this is where we at right now in 2023. It is very sad. This is where we at. It's scary. To be honest with you, it's very scary. We see a lot more shootings and violence in schools. These young kids are doing things they shouldn't be doing at a certain age. You got drag queen hours for little kids 5 years old. Like, are you serious? Yo, in the 90s, early 2000s, something like that, unheard of. That's when we got worse. Things like that would never existed. Would have never happened. Drag queen hours? We need real churches back. We need real pastors out there preaching to the youth, trying to get to the youth, because all we have is just the drill music, the violence in the music. It's just, we need that balance back. You guys know what I'm talking about. You need that balance back. You can't take away one and just have everything about the devil. It's not going to work that way. And speaking of that, I'm going to leave you guys with this. In Virginia, I heard that, I'm not sure if it's official yet, because there was having debate on that, of having kids learn about the devil. I think they call it the devil learning hour or something like that. It's in Virginia. So we're not going to learn about God. We're going to learn about the devil. You guys see where this is going. Hey, give me guys think about this in the comments, man. Like I said, church doors should be open for everybody. God loves everybody. That's like Charlie said. It doesn't matter what your color, race. It doesn't matter. We are all equal. When we all got to go, and we all got to go. We all got to get cremated or we going 6 feet deep. There's no other way around it. Everybody. So we all should treat everybody equally and accordingly. Something like I said, you can't save, or something you can't. Until then, I'll catch you guys next video, man. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.